Hey guys, how are you doing today? So I love how the light is just hitting my face so eloquently. But hope you guys are doing well. For those of you guys who are new to the Living in Your Truth community, welcome. My name is Deb Acker, and I'm an intuitive life coach and energy healer, and I clear energy blocks to all areas of life, including love and abundance. And in today's Vibration Activation Wednesday, I want to talk to you about laughter. Actually, I got a couple of fun stories to share with you. And actually, even before we go into the laughter piece, for those of you guys who are new to what vibration is and raising your vibration and why that's important, I want to talk to you about a few things just to kind of give you a brief baseline on why it's important to be focused on our vibration and raising it. And so basically, I define vibration as it's very similar to emotion, it's very similar to energy. And so when we are in lower vibrations, and the examples I always use is like fear, guilt, anger, shame, control. Any of those sound familiar? First of all, if you feel those in your body, they feel really heavy. And then also, too, what ends up happening is they block us from being able to manifest, and they block us from being able to tune in to our intuition, which is always coming through, but many times we're blocked. And so really always it's always really important, if you can, to be focusing on raising your vibration, moving your vibration up, and as a piece of that, moving your vibration into higher levels like joy, peace, love, gratitude. And if you just feel what those feel like in your body, those obviously should feel a lot lighter. Comment below if for some reason they don't, but they should feel lighter in your body. And so again, the benefits of doing this, the benefits of raising your vibration. Oh, hi Heather, how are you? Talking about laughter and actually vibration raising. That's so awesome that you're joining from Australia. It's good to see you. And so really the benefits of raising our vibration, being able to manifest really quickly, and also being able to tune into our intuition that's always coming through, that we are all intuitive, but we actually have to clear our blocks and open to it. Hello, that's so awesome you're joining. It's so cool how we can join from all parts of the world. And so, yeah, just basically, I lost my train of thought. I'm like, oh, cool. But yes, so basically, it's important, and intuition's always coming through. We all have the ability to tune into it and open to it. You just have to clear your blocks to what's holding you back from being able to tune into it and to always know what's right for you in every moment. And so today I want to talk to you about laughter, right? Because laughter can be a really great vibration raiser. And I want to share, I know I didn't do an Intuition Tuesday, so I want to share a brief story. I want to share actually two stories. And one I shared briefly, both of them I shared briefly on my personal page. But the first story I want to talk about is yesterday in the worthiness call that I hosted. And this is really funny because you can actually hear it on the audio. I went back and listened just briefly to that piece. And I was like, oh my God, you can hear this. So we were having a discussion. We were talking about all these patterns. We were identifying all these different patterns. And then when we got time to do the energy clearing piece of it, all of a sudden, so I had all the recording pieces on my computer. And so all of a sudden when I went to go do the recording piece, my computer completely, for the energy clearing, my computer completely froze. And you could literally, in the audio, it's really funny. You could just hear me go, I start laughing out loud because I was getting a download of okay, here's a call all about letting go of not feeling good enough, not worrying, and just sort of going with the flow and really just owning your worth and owning that this is enough. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this may not even be recording. Everybody might not even be on the phone. And so what was so funny to me is I'm like, oh my gosh, I could literally be doing, for the next 20, 30 minutes on the call, be doing a recording, an activation and it would just be me who was doing it for myself. And so all along I'm having this thought process as I'm doing this energy clearing, and I'm checking in. So we didn't do an Intuition Tuesday, but I'll tell you, I was checking in with my intuition. I'm like, is this still recording? Are people still on the phone? Or am I just literally talking to myself right now and doing a big energy clearing for myself? And I kept hearing yes, like keep going, yes, yes, yes. A piece of intuition and really tuning into your intuition is really trusting yourself. And so I was like, okay, hopefully I'm not attached. Part of what can impact our intuition is being attached to an outcome. And so I'm like, okay, hopefully I'm not getting a yes, because like I'm attached to the idea of this working, to the idea of, oh my gosh, this has got to be like, I've got to get this on tape. And part of what my processing was like, okay, so worst case, nobody's on the phone and I'm talking to myself for the last 20 to 30 minutes of the call. Worst case, I'm like, I'll just redo it, right? I'll just have to just redo that piece of the call. No big deal. Like, I was like, no big deal. If that happens, that happens. If people are on the call and the recording doesn't work, we'll figure it out. I kind of just was like in that space of like, okay, there's this, I was having two side-by-side thoughts, right? I'm having the one thought of like, oh my God, is this working? And am I talking to myself? And then I'm having the other thought of like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I was trying to have this side of it sort of override this side of it. But it ended up where it did work. So actually my intuition was giving me good information, but it did end up working. And so really, I would just encourage you, like, anywhere that you can find, you know, it's very important to honor your feelings. So I'm not at all by saying not to honor your feelings, but it's also important in any situation to be able to find the laughter in it, right? Like, I knew in the situation that I was in, I knew that, like, my guides were like, okay, are you going to trust right now? Like, are you going to just be where you are and just trust and, like, just relax, right? And so that was part of what the download was that I was getting when I realized that my computer had completely froze. I was like, and I just started laughing because I was like, oh, of course that would happen, you know? It's like, it was just a piece of the puzzle. So, so really, really important to always be, just kind of stay open and always be laughing and always be, oops, my phone is dying. But always make sure to just find the laughter in it, right? Where's the humor in it? Even if it's something that's kind of goofy or kind of wacky. I'll tell you another story that happened to me today. So I'm in my kitchen, and I don't know why, but I turned my oven on higher than I normally do to cook my eggs, which actually they cooked up faster, which was really cool. But what ended up happening was that there was all this like smoke like coming in. And so there was all this smoke like coming through the pan like into my house, right? So I'd like turn off the oven and because the eggs have cooked, and I turn off the oven, I set the eggs aside. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna cool. And I'm half dressed. I have to put a top on basically, and I have to go to the bathroom. And so I go to the bathroom, and then the fire alarm goes off. And I'm like, oh, excuse my language, oh shit. I was like, the fire alarm's going off. I'm like half dressed. I was like, oh my God, this is not ideal. And so what ended up happening is like, okay, I'm just gotta finish going to the bathroom, and then I'll come out and I'll open my door. And when I open my door, the air circulates and everything is all good, hunky-dory. And so, so basically in the process though, what ended up happening was my neighbors come out and they're looking for the fire. And I'm like, and I open my door finally when I get a chance, and I was like, oh, it's in here. And I'm just like circulating the air. And actually, it's not really the first time that my fire alarm goes off a lot. I'm sure my neighbors are like, oh my God, she's an awesome cook, because it's always going. I cook like something simple like eggs or chicken, and the fire alarm goes off. And so, like, again, just finding that humor. I just found the humor in it, just embraced it, just went with it, and just owned that piece of it. And then I feel like there was one other thing, so I just want to look at my notes. There was one other thing I feel like I was going to talk about. No, guess not. So anyways, just wanted to share that story with you. Oh, and I will share the replay for the worthiness call on here, so I'll share the replay with you on that. But and I really encourage you to check it out. It was crazy powerful. Like I said, the energy, like my computer froze. It was that powerful. So there was just a lot of energy cleared on the call. There was just a lot of shifts and openings and awarenesses and awakenings that happened just through that one call. So I definitely encourage you to listen and check it out. And however I can support you, don't hesitate to ask. Awesome. Have a wonderful rest of you wherever you are, day, evening, wherever that is. And I will look forward to, I think I'm going to be on the beach tomorrow. I'm going to go to Michigan. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you on the beach tomorrow. Have a wonderful, blessed evening.